Hey, everybody, and welcome to week one of organizational behavior. My name is Chris Bolter. I'm your instructor for the course, and I know you probably watched a video already in the course news and bulletins where I introduce myself, but I wanted to take you through what I do each week. So at the start of each week, I post a video that I'd like you to take a look at where I look at and describe in a little bit the readings for the week, talk a little bit about the DQs, and provide any input that I can that may be of assistance for you as you work your way through the week. So, as you know, for week one, the required readings were chapters 1 and chapter 15 from the book, the first chapter and the last chapter, where they go over some key concepts of organizational behavior in the first chapter and then circle back to them in the last chapter. And in addition, an article by Isles and Metz from 2017. So again, just because it's the first week, I'll let you know what I do every week is I post my own notes from the readings in the course news and bulletins. And again, as I read through stuff, I highlight stuff, I copy stuff, I type stuff. And so I share it with you that, of course, you're going to do the readings yourself. But if this helps you in any way to take a look at my notes and what stood out for me, then that's awesome. That's great. And I'm glad to hear that. So what I'd like to do right now, again, in addition to letting you know that each week you should be looking in the course news and bulletins all the time because I post notes, I post videos, stuff like that. I want to talk a little bit about the DQs for the week. So one of the DQs, the question is, and I'm going to go between two screens here, the first chapter of your text explains the importance of a systematic study of organizational behavior, otherwise known as OB. Using your current organization as a context, think about where you work right now. Discuss an instance where you've seen examples of systematic study informing organizational practice or an instance where systematic study could have been useful. So, for example, when I take a look at the notes from chapter 1, again, I'm going between screens here. Part of chapter 1 talks about a number of different organizational behavior research methods like surveys, field studies, laboratory studies, case studies, meta-analysis. So for example, I could look at my organization and say, well, I can think of a couple times where an anonymous employee survey would have been very helpful to solve a problem or to address something, and here's why it would have been helpful. So I don't need to name one that's already happened. I could take a look at something that would have helped and then explain why it would have helped. So I hope that's a little bit of a tip. The whole point of the first discussion question is to apply some of what you learned from reading chapter 1 to your own organization. So you're going to, through your DQ, describe your own organization and apply some of the key concepts from chapter 1 and maybe some other readings as well, and perhaps one of the two videos that you took a look at within that. The second DQ says Isles and Metz discuss different types of organizational culture. Drawing on this article in chapter readings, describe the culture at your current organization and how it impacts organizational behavior. So, okay. So again, I'm just flipping over to my notes myself. I made a number of lists from Isles and Metz's work. So they talk about innovation and risk taking, attention to detail, outcome orientation, people orientation. And actually, when you go into chapter 15, they revisit a number of those different, types and characteristics of organization in chapter 15 of the book. So as you look again at your own organization, try to apply it. And as stated in chapter 15, there's no organization that just has one type of culture. There's subcultures, there's countercultures, there's a mix of cultures within organizations. So by answering the question, you're not saying this is, the only way my organization works or the only culture. It's okay to name one or maybe more than one as you take a look through. Again, the intent of the DQ question is for you to apply the readings to your organization. So I look forward to seeing what you put in the DQs. You'll see me in there making comments and trying to guide the conversation throughout the week. So take care. I hope you have a great week one in organizational behavior, and all the best to you, and we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.